Have you ever felt stressed? Honestly, me too. Well, my name is Venerable John Paramai Tanisaro, or Monk John. I'm a Theravada Buddhist monk and a meditation instructor. Yes, I'm just like everyone whose life is full of uncertainty. We all have pressure we need to face, and I have mine too. Here is how I manage to deal with all the tensions and still find inner peace. In the modern world, things are changing more rapidly than ever before, and these constant changes make our minds jump back and forth between expectations, contributing to a higher degree of stress. Let's take a look at the definition of stress. It's when the mind is worried and keeps thinking in a loop without any conclusion or problem solved. As a result, it has to bear a lot of pressure, and the amount of pressure the mind needs to deal with will affect both body and mind. Looking at the body's point of view, the primary stress hormone cortisol increases metabolism and creates a surge of energy in your body as part of the fight or flight response. While we need cortisol to boost the energy required to wake up from bed, the hormone levels sometimes stay higher all day. The increased cortisol level indicates that things that trigger the stress hormone production are not exclusively harmful or life-threatening anymore, but more stuff we commonly find in our daily life. Our ancestors lived in an era where nature's threats, such as wild animals, caused them to fight for survival. And cortisol is the key to boosting the chance. We instead live in an era where everything turns into stressors. Our stress can quickly build up because of social media, work, household life, relationship, the economy, and the world's situation. It's like a computer that still contains the same processing power and memory, but the software and data it needs to process become increasingly sophisticated. Information overload means the body uses excessive processing energy all the time. This doesn't look good for the body when the heart keeps pumping blood at a higher rate constantly without having time to rest. Isn't it like a car that goes full speed or an overclocked computer that cannot pause? People who are stressed also don't breathe naturally and tend to have shorter breath. They will regularly suffer various health issues due to malfunctions of, for example, blood circulation and the respiratory systems. From the mental aspect, stress leads to unhappiness. We human beings need some space in mind to be happy. The more spacious our mind becomes, the happier we are. If our minds are full of stressors and we keep focusing on them, we will not have enough space for happiness to appear. Stressed people will typically become less happy. Some may have more wealth but cannot enjoy it because the mind focuses on unnecessary stressors rather than what matters in life. However, the good news is that doing something with our minds is the key to overcoming stress. Problems and unhappiness are two words that can be identical or unrelated. Some people have problems and become stressed right away, while some have a lot of life issues but still manage to live happier lives. The ability to make these two words different lies in slowing down the thought loop, breaking it completely, and adding more positive thoughts to the mind. Our minds keep making a thought loop. When we think of thought number 1, it moves to thought number 2 before being able to finish thinking. The mind moves to think about thought number 3, number 4, number 5, and so on, without being able to conclude any of them. So sometimes we can think of 100 different thoughts in an hour without any conclusion. And when this happens at high speed, no energy will remain in the body. the mind will also feel excessively drained and unhappy. A practical tool for slowing down the thought loop is to make the mind more calm and relaxed. By applying a meditation technique such as breathing observation, we can slow down how the mind shifts between thoughts. Initially, we will not be able to stop the thought loop completely, but being able to slow down the thought loop will already allow the mind to rest. Hence, people who meditate daily will suffer less from stress-related problems. A trained mind will be able to break the thought loop. When the mind stops still, it will eradicate all thoughts. It's important to note that thinking and feeling are not the same. During the stillest moment, when all thoughts subside, the mind will only experience peace and tranquility, leaving its wound to heal. If we do not train the mind, the negative thoughts can keep hurting us indefinitely. But when we exercise it through meditation, we can enjoy our inner peace, which will emerge from still mind. If we want the body to be strong, we have to move our bodies. But if we want our minds to become strong, we need to learn to stop it from thinking aimlessly. Meditation will allow the mind to regain its clarity. The inner wisdoms obtained will contribute to selecting proper thoughts and filtering out many negative ones. The mind practicing regular meditation will understand how certain things affect our mental well-being. A wiser mind will let go of thoughts repeatedly hurting it. When it has less traffic, it can stay with meaningful ones longer. If we cannot control our situations, we must choose what thoughts we consume. The ability to select specific thoughts over another will become the best weapon to fight stress. Where can stress hide? When there are more positive thoughts than negative ones. Wisdoms from meditation will help us accept that the world is full of uncertainty. When there are many things we cannot control, we have to understand, accept, and let them go from our minds. Constantly feeling trouble from unsolvable problems won't make us happier. Letting go does not make us run away from problems, but it is to face the fact that some issues should no longer exist in our minds. When they do not have a space in the first place, there will be no pressure to deal with. This mindfulness and meditation idea will help many of us feel better, especially when things are not right. We cannot get the past back. We cannot also expect the future to be the way we want. We can still enjoy the present. When nothing is correct, and you feel that life is so tough and the world is so unfair, close your eyes and free your mind for a short moment. Fight the enemy that lives inside our minds. If we can win over ourselves at that moment, that will be the most significant victory. Additionally, meditation will give the mind some break, clean it, and add some positive energy that will allow us to continue striving for our best. What I have said is not easy at all. During a tough time, we spend our days without a trace of a smile. How about beginning with smiling a few times a day, laughing at something funny, and finding goodness in many things around us? If we cannot escape the pressure, we can use it to polish ourselves and become a better version. The pressure we face will continue to make us better people, like diamonds made of carbon atoms under high temperature and pressure. When ordinary carbon atoms bond together, they create gemstones that everyone desires. If we can continue making a slight change to our present, one day at a time, we will guide ourselves to a path of prosperity. When things around us are yet to improve, we can give ourselves peace and happiness. One day, a brighter future will come and we are ready to welcome it with a big smile.